Hello, Internet. So this week, opening 5 of these Ghosts from the Past Yu-Gi-Oh! Kits. Um, Thankfully, local game store had plenty of them in stock. Seems that the speculators that are currently buying up all of the Pokemon and everything else that is TCG related, for whatever reason, they seem to completely ignore Yu-Gi-Oh! No idea why. I mean, I'm not complaining. It makes it nice being able to just walk into the store on the day something, or a few days after something comes out, and go, yeah, I'll just take, a few of these. But anyways, there's 3 packs in each. I've got 5 kits total. So we'll get right into it. I know last week I didn't get a video up, basically between work and real life. Last week tried to make something different, didn't work out, and I didn't have enough time to get something else shot. And this week I'm shooting this on Sunday just because, once again, between work and real life, by the time I got home on Saturday from picking this up for curbside order, I just didn't have enough time to get it shot and uploaded. So get these opened up, and I'll see you all in a few moments. And we're back, so we'll just get right into it. And, same thing as with the maximum gold sets, where most of these cards, these sets, I think it was $30 per box for these. You get 3 packs, there's 5 cards in each. So, I mean, it's about $2 per card. You can probably get most of these cards for cheaper than that, but, I mean, it's completely up to you. But this one is supposed to be fully foil, so. We have the Monarchs Erupt. Activate this card only if you have no cards in your extra deck and control a tribute summon monster. Negate the effect of all face-up monsters on the field while those monsters are face-up on the field, except tribute summon monsters. During your end phase, if you control no tribute summon monsters, send this card to the graveyard. That actually doesn't seem that bad. I mean, all you need is no extra deck monsters and a tribute summon monster. I mean, that's fairly easy if you're not planning on using anything, any link cards. Sun Avalon Dryas. If this card is link summoned in the extra monster zone using Sunseed Genesis Loki as material, you can add 1 Sunvine Speller Trap from your deck to your hand. This card cannot be targeted for attacks, but does not prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. Once per turn, if you take battle or effect damage, you can gain that much life points, and if you do, special summon 1 Sunvine monster from your extra deck. Huh. XYZ Burst, or XYZ Burst. If you control rank 6 or higher XYZ monster, destroy all set monsters your opponent controls. Not bad. Update Jammer. Once per battle during damage calculation, if your Cyburst monster battles, quick effect, you can activate this effect, negate all other card effects on the field until the end of the damage step. Damage calculation for this battle uses each monster's original attack and defense. Also, if an opponent's monster is destroyed by this battle and sent to the graveyard, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. That's quite a nice card. And if it's sent to the graveyard as link material, that link monster can make a second attack during each battle phase. And we have Red Supernova Dragon. Must first be synchro summoned, gains 500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Once per turn, when your opponent's monster effect is activated, or when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can activate this effect, banish this card, also banish all cards your opponent controls. Once per turn during your next end phase after this card was banished by its own effect, special summon this banished card. Ooh, that's a very nasty one. We have Hyo Zanryu. I mean, I get this as Ghost from the Past, but man, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's only 7 stars, so I mean, it's 2800 defense at least. Cosmol Dark Lady. Quick effect, you can banish this card, special summon one level 6 or higher Cosmo monster from your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, when another monster's effect is activated, you can pay 1,000 life points, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. Very nice. Salvage. Target 2 water monsters with 1,500 or less attack in your graveyard. Add them to your hand. Time Thief Bezel Ship. You can tribute this card. Target 1 Time Thief Xyz monster you control. Attach 1 card from your opponent's graveyard to that monster as material. If this card is in the graveyard, you can detach 1 material from an Xyz monster you control. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect once per turn. And Sunvine Thrasher. If a Sunvalen Link monster you control leaves the field by card effects, destroy this card. If it's special summoned, you can target 1 Sunvalen Link monster on the field. This card gains attack equal to that monster's Link rating times 800. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon that monster to your zone as Link. You can special summon that monster to your zone a Link monster points to, but negate its effects. We have Time Thief Retrograde. When a spell or trap card is activated while you control a Time Thief Xyz monster, negate the activation, and if you do, attach that card to a Time Thief Xyz monster you control as material. You can only activate 1 Time Thief Retrograde per turn. We have another Sunvalen Dryades. Oh no, that is a different one. This card cannot be targeted for attacks, but does not prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. Twice per turn, if you take battle or effect damage, you can gain that much life points, and if you do, special summon 1 Sunvine monster from your extra deck. It's interesting. Dragunity Oubliette. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control a Dragunity Synchro monster, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. Then if you control a level 10 Dragunity monster, you can have 1 Dragunity monster you control gain 100 attack for each face-up card that is currently banished. You can only activate 1 Dragunity Oubliette per turn. We have Hieratic Dragon of the Set. You can normal summon this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 1,000. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up dragon normal monster on the field. The level of all hieratic monsters currently on the field become the level of that monster until the end phase. When this card is tributed, special summon 1 dragon normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard and make its attack or defense 0. I mean, it's not bad. You know, it lets you get around having to tribute summon them at least. Vampire Voivode. If this card is normal summoned, you can target up to 2 monsters in your opponent's graveyard, special summon those monsters to your field in defense position, but their effects are negated. When a monster's effect is activated, while a monster with its same name is in the graveyard, you can negate the activation. If a monster is special summoned from your opponent's graveyard, you can tribute 2 monsters, special summon this card from your graveyard. You can release each effect once per turn. That's quite a nice card, actually. We have another Sunvalen Dryades, Xyz Burst, Update Jammer, Heyo Zanryu, and Time Thief Adjuster. Man, 4 out of the 5 cards were copies. If you normal or special summon a Time Thief monster, except Time Thief Adjuster, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 Time Thief card from your deck to the graveyard, except Time Thief Adjuster. You can only use 1 Time Thief Adjuster per turn. I mean, decent enough. We have another Cosmo Dark Lady, another Salvage, Time Thief Bezel Ship, Time Thief Retrograde, and Dragunity Legatus. If you control Dragon Ravine or Dragunity monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If a Drag Unity monster card is in your spell and trap zone, you can target one spell or trap on the field, destroy it. You can only use each effect once per turn. We have another Sunvalon Dryadus, Drag Unity Oublet, Hierarch Dragon of Asset, Metal Foes Fusion. Fusion summon one Metal Foes Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle it into the deck, then draw one card. You can only use this effect once per turn. And Starry Night Rail. When this card is normal summoned, you can add one Starry Night spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Starry Night monster in your graveyard. Except Starry Night Rail, special summon it. You can only use each effect once per turn. That's not too bad. We have Salaman Great Fowl. If a Salaman Great monster, except Fowl, is normal or special summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. You can send one Salaman Great card from your hand or field face-up field to the graveyard. Target one set or spell trap your opponent controls. That set card cannot be activated this turn. That's a slightly interesting way of doing it. Not quite sure how I feel about it, but we have Terror of Trishula. Apply these effects in sequence depending on the number of Ice Barrier Synchro monsters you control with different names. 1+, banish one card your opponent controls. 2+, banish one card from your opponent's graveyard. 3+, banish one random card from your opponent's hand. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets an Ice Barrier Synchro monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate that effect. I mean, decent enough. We have Metal Foes Volflame. Once per turn, you can target one other face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, set one Metal Foes spell or trap directly from your deck. We have Recover. If this card... Focus, please. Thank you. If this card is in the graveyard and your opponent has 5 or more cards in their extra deck than you do, you can pay 2,000 life points. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. I mean, it's a tuner, but overall, not quite sure how I feel about that one. And Necros of Arid Bear. You can ritual summon this card with any Necros ritual spell. It must be ritual summoned without using any level 10 monsters. You can only use each of the effects of Necros of Abzir once per turn. You can discard this card, tribute up to 2 Necros monsters from your hand and or field, and if you do, send that many Necros cards from your deck to the graveyard. And when a monster effect is activated, you can tribute 1 monster from your hand or field, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. Wonder what the pull rates are for the actual ghost rares. We have Molten Conduction Field. Send 2 Laval monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Yep, that's certainly in effect. We have Fairy Tale Rokka. When this card is normal summoned, you can make your opponent gain 500 life points. Then your opponent looks at the top 3 cards in your deck and chooses one of them for you to add to your hand. Also shuffle the rest back into the deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per battle, if this card battles before damage calculation, you can send this card to the graveyard. Like, I'm sure there's reasons why you would want to use some of these effects, but why would you want to use some of these effects? I mean, you give your opponent life, they get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and choose one that you get. And then, when this card battles, you can kill it before inflicting battle damage. Like, why? We have Sunvine Healer. If a Sunvalon Link monster you control leaves the field by card effects, destroy this card. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 Sun Avalon Link monster on the field, gain life points equal to its Link rating times 300. When your plant Link monsters inflict battle damage to your opponent, you can gain 600 life points. You have Time Thief Startup. Special summon one Time Thief monster from your hand. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Time Thief Xyz monster you control. Attach three Time Thief cards of different types, monster, spell, and trap, from your graveyard to that monster as material. You can only use it once per turn, and only once that turn. That's quite nice. And we have Laval Archer. If this card is normal summoned during your main phase this turn, you can normal summon one Laval monster in addition to your normal summon and set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one fire monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except fire monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn. We have Sunseed Twin. There's something genuinely unsettling about that artwork. If this card is normal or special summoned while you control a Sun Avalon monster or Link monster, you can target one level 4 lower plant normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can banish this card in your graveyard and one Link monster you control. If you have 2 or more plant Link monsters with the same name as each other in your graveyard, special summon one of them. Like, it's a nice card, it's just, man, that artwork is creepy. Sun Avalon Bloom. When this card is activated, if you control a Link 4 or higher plant monster, when this effect resolves, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. During damage calculation, if your plant Link monster battles, you can activate this effect. It gains attack equal to the combined attack of monsters it currently points to until the end of this turn. These effects remain even if the card leaves the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. I mean, really nice main ability. Not quite sure, because I thought most of the... well, just say Plant Link monster, because I think most of the Sun Avalon ones only had one arrow on them. Hieratic Seal of Reflection. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, tribute one hieratic monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. We have Resonator Engine. Target 2 Resonator monsters in your graveyard, add one level 4 monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, return those targets to the deck. And Starry Night Arrival. During the main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Target one level 7 Light Dragon monster you control, return it to the hand. Special summon one level 7 Light Dragon monster from your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. I mean, quite nice effect, so... We have Miracle Synchro Fusion. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck that lists a synchro monster as material by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. If this set card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect and you sent to your graveyard, draw one card. I mean, it's okay. We have Medoche Chateau. When this card is activated, shuffle all Medoche monsters in your graveyard into the deck. All Medoche monsters in the field gain 500 attack and defense. If a monster in your graveyard would be returned to the deck by the effects of a Medoche monster, you can add it to your hand instead. I believe this is part of the Medoche Infinite Loop that they have. We have Salamangreat Falco. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Salamangreat spell or trap in your graveyard. Set that target to your field. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Salamangreat monster you control except Falco. Return that monster to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card. You can only use one of Salamangreat Falco effect per turn, and only once that turn. I mean, it's not bad. Another Metalfoes Fusion, and Starry Night Rail. We have Dragon Knight Draco Equist. It must first be fusion summoned. Once per turn, you can target one Dragon Synchro monster in the graveyard, banish that target, and if you do, until the end phase, this card's name becomes that monster's and replaces this effect with that monster's original effect. When this card is in attack position, your opponent takes any effect damage you would have taken from their card effects instead. I mean, it's quite nice being able to copy any Dragon Synchro effect in your graveyard is quite nice. So, we have Time Thief Perpetua. During the standby phase, you can detach one material from this card, then target one Time Thief monster in your graveyard, except Time Thief Perpetua. Special summon that monster. Quick effect, you can target one other Xyz monster you control, attach one Time Thief card from your deck to it as material. You can only use each effect once per turn. I mean, quite nice overall, so. Hieratic Seal of Supremacy. Special summon one Hieratic monster from your hand. Once again, I mean, not much more to say than that. I have Starry Night Astel. You can target one light monster you control, tribute it, and if you do, special summon one level 7 light dragon monster from your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one level 7 light dragon monster you control, gains 1000 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. And Armed Dragon level 10. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by tributing one Armed Dragon level 7. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. I mean, he's very good if you can get him out. The catch is getting him out. We have Sunvine Maiden. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a plant monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate that effect. You can only use this effect once per turn. Your opponent cannot target Sun Avalon or Sunvine spell traps you control with card effects. I mean, quite good. We have Tackle Crusader. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate one of these effects. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change that target to face-down defense position. Target one face-up spell or trap your opponent controls, return that target to the hand. This turn your opponent cannot activate cards with the same name as the card returned to the hand by this effect. So very good for, if your opponent has something that's high attack, low defense, you can very easily get over it, or, if they have troublesome trap or spell. We have Buster Dragon. All monsters your opponent controls become dragons. Once per turn, if you do not control a Buster Blader monster, you can target one Buster Blader in your graveyard, special summon it. Once per opponent's turn, you can target one Buster Blader monster you control, equipped it with one Destruction Sword monster from your graveyard. I mean, very nice effect. Pity about its low attack, but I mean, very nice with Buster Blader. We have Mist Valley Baby Rock. When sent from the hand to the graveyard, you can special summon it. I mean, very straightforward. And Evenly Matched. At the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make your opponent banish cards from their field face down so they control the same number of cards as you do. If you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. Yeah, I mean, it's very good for dealing with swarm decks. Or if you manage to disrupt their combo, and you can use it to quickly screw up their combo even further. So, Hieratic Seal of Supremacy. Hieratic Dragon of Tefnuit. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Cannot attack during the turn it is special summoned this way. When this card is tributed, special summon one dragon normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and make its attack and defense 0. I mean, it's not bad. We have Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. From this card, tribute any number of monsters from your hand and or field, minimum 1, then destroy an equal number of cards on the field. It's quite nice overall. Sunvine Healer. And Evenly Matched. You have 2 packs left. We have Time Thief Flyback. Target one Time Thief Xyz monster you control. Attach one Time Thief card from your hand or deck to it as material. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Target one Time Thief Xyz monster you control. Attach one card from your opponent's graveyard to it as material. You can only use one Time Thief Flyback effect per turn and only once that turn. I mean, it's good for Time Thief decks. Another Hyozan Ryu. Cosmojo. Target one Cosmo monster you control. Destroy it, and if you do, banish one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard. You can only activate one Cosmojo per turn. We have Sunseed Genius Loki. And another red Supernova Dragon. So, are we going to get any of that fabled last pack magic? I say fabled because I've never actually had it happen. And I can only assume that it's a fable. Man, every time I say that, I'm always worried that he's like, okay, this is going to be the pack where I actually end up pulling something good, and nobody's going to believe me that I didn't stage it. So we have Mask Change. Target one hero monster you control. Send it to the graveyard. Also, after that, if it left the field by this effect, special summon one masked hero monster from your extra deck with the same attribute that the sent monster had when it was on the field. Its original attribute if face down. We have Medolsh Fres Sistart. When this card points to a Medolsh monster, Medolsh spell or traps your opponent you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can target them with card effects. If this card on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effects, you can shuffle one Medolsh monster from your graveyard into the deck instead. I mean, it's quite nice overall. So, really can't complain. We have Gear Town. Both players can normal summon ancient gear monsters for one less tribute. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one ancient gear monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Metalphos Vorflame, and Armed Dragon level 10. So, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you do, please like, comment, subscribe, you know the routine. And I will see you all next time. Hopefully I'll actually have a video up next week, so hopefully it won't be delayed like the past few were.